Thank you so much for joining another episode of Chats with Chantla. I'm Chantla Israel, and tonight we have such an inspiring, motivating, and determined entrepreneur. Her name is Chantell Brown, and she is the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC. So welcome to the platform, Chantell. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. This conversation is going to be so great. It's a beautiful collaboration for multiple reasons. Everybody is thinking about health and how they can make their life better from the inside out and trying to live out their best version of themselves. So we have a great conversation, and I know a lot of people are excited. They've shared. So if you are joining and this is your first time viewing Chats with Chantla, welcome to the platform. This platform is where I highlight Black entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs, small business owners doing huge impact in their communities, but it's an opportunity to build, connect, and collaborate. But if you have a question for our featured entrepreneur, make sure you put it in the comments, and I'll pop it up on the screen and have our featured entrepreneur for tonight answer that. But let's jump right into this conversation. So Chantell, I know a lot of people probably already asked you this question. You probably already have a complete response that you've done millions of times, I should say. But a lot of people who are viewing tonight, this is maybe their first time of meeting you. So why did you decide to become a personal trainer?
I decided to be a trainer because it was just the next thing to do. I've always had a background in sports and in dance. So becoming a trainer was just like a no-brainer. And plus, I wanted to help inspire people to become the better versions of themselves, physically and internally. So being a trainer, it helps me do that.
Absolutely. I think that's great because, I mean, you have motivation for yourself and then those who you work with. So if you're looking for someone like that, that's probably a great characteristic to be looking for in a personal trainer. But in the beginning, everyone has a story about their journey into entrepreneurship. In the beginning, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
Growing up, I always thought about, having my own business, especially my own dance studio. But it wasn't until I met my husband that's when I took off with being an entrepreneur. He has such an entrepreneur mindset. So having conversations with him and actually having him be my partner, it just works. So he helped me really tap into my gift of being in fitness and then also taking it to the next level of being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. So before I move any further, I want to apologize because it's so routine for me, but today is a very special episode of Chats with Chantla. It is my 1-year anniversary for hosting this platform, and I have this amazing entrepreneur that's very inspiring. So when we were prepping for this collaboration, I was just so inspired by her and, just different tips that she was able to give me, on how to improve my personal health. But today marks a year that Chats with Chantla has been on the platform. And as you saw in the beginning, or if you're just now joining in, I've interviewed over 40 entrepreneurs and had over 70,000 views on Chats with Chantla. So it's a great way to get exposure and connect with more clientele or new customers. So tonight we do have Chantell Brown, who is the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC, joining the platform and giving some great inspiration and sharing her story into entrepreneurship with us. So let's get back to this great conversation. But Chantell, you did say that you or an athlete and a dancer. So you had different things that you could have chose to, work in different types of fields. So why did you choose fitness?
I think I'm able to touch more people. In dance and being an athlete, yes. Are you going to be on the field? Of course. Are you going to be on the stage? Yes. But you're not necessarily interacting as much as you would want to. But being a trainer, I'm actually able to touch people's lives, actually go back and forth with them, have conversations with them, just like you and I. So it's it's more hands-on, and I like that aspect of it all. It's just easier for me, and it's actually helped me grow to become a better person, having these conversations with other people, interacting with other people, and having people inspire me too. So
Absolutely. And I love how you said, like, you're an athlete and you're a dancer and you can be on the field and you can be on the stage, but to be a personal trainer and to, work in fitness, you are dealing with clients that are right there with you. So when you're going through something or you're having a not so good day, you still have to show up with that brave face and that smile because you're motivating people. People are coming to you for a service, a solution. And, if your performance, and because everyone, whether they're a business owner or not, you are performing for your clients or your customers. You want to be at top notch. You want to be at your very best. So that's, kind of hard to hide if you are face to face with someone. So you really have to be a part of it and, really doing the work to be able to be in fitness because it is so personal. It's personal when I'm saying face-to-face contact, but pure personal being like in your personal space, someone being in your personal space and vice versa. So I'm glad that you chose that.
Yeah.
I think your background has prepped you to be able to be successful in fitness. And shout out to your husband, as you stated earlier, with his entrepreneur mindset and him being able to motivate you and encourage you and inspire you to continue to step in, unknown territory. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you did it. And thankfully, with his support. And I say that, and the reason why I want to acknowledge him is because not every entrepreneur has that support. Sometimes they have to do it solo, and it's scary. It's scary enough to do it with support, and then you do it alone. So shout out to all the husbands, all the support systems, all the wives who are supporting husbands who are entrepreneurs, all the loved ones and family members and friends that support entrepreneurs. We definitely need you, and we need your encouragement and motivation to keep taking those small steps forward. So, and my next question for you is, how did you get the concept or the idea for the business?
Going back and forth with my husband, to be quite honest. Throwing ideas at him and him throwing ideas to me, it actually helped create Sweet Fitness. And my name, Sweet Fitness, I named it Sweet Fitness because he calls me Sweet. That's our little, pet names or whatever. But it just made it even more mine because it's called Sweet Fitness. So just having him, just throwing ideas back and forth with him, it actually helps create concepts and different ideas that I can, expose to my clients and just my community, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so if you are just now joining in, we have the amazing entrepreneur, Chantell Brown, and she's the owner of Sweet Fitness. And she just gave us a little bit of an idea of how the concept of her business came about. So if you're just trying to find Chats with Chantla and you're not my friend on Facebook, you can go to Chats with Chantla, the platform, or go to YouTube and see Chats with Chantla. We are live broadcasting on all three of those platforms. And if you have to come back, we'll connect in. I'll tag Chantell for everyone who's connected to her that is not able to see this live. And then you'll be able to hit replay and be able to support her and comment on her great collaboration tonight on the platform. But Chantell, a lot of people may be watching and thinking, what are the specialties or what are your personal interests that you have when it comes to fitness, in regards to fitness, because a lot of people may be looking to connect with somebody that has something that that they can really relate to. So what specialties or personal interests do you have in regards to fitness?
My personal interest is just to make sure that people are living a healthier life. Taking responsibility over your life, really. With fitness, it pushes you out of your comfort zone. It really does. And a lot of people need that and they don't realize that they do. So those are my interests, trying to just get people to understand that having a healthier lifestyle and living a fit life is it's easier, and your lifespan just multiplies times 2. So just taking care of ourselves, having that knowledge to take care of ourselves is the key.
Absolutely. I love that because, it's like when we think about fitness, at least for me, and I'll keep it on the eye, it's not the easiest thing to think about. It becomes very overwhelming. My anxiety goes up because you're thinking of all the different things that come with fitness. If you want to live a healthier life, you want to live longer, your fitness has a lot to do with that. Your health has a lot it's connected to fitness. So it has a lot to do with that. So a lot of times, as a personal trainer and a physical health educator, you have to know a lot about, programs to be able to give them to your clients. So how do you determine the best program for your client when they come to seek you for, services?
The initial consultation, being honest, that helps a lot. That helps me be able to create these concepts or create workouts and routines for that particular client. But they have to be honest with me at the beginning. And you have to practice good listening skills. Have to. Because sometimes they'll say key things and that they wouldn't think is a huge thing, but it is. So taking heed to that and really listening and being honest, it helps tremendously.
Absolutely. Because how else would you be able to know what type of program to give them without being honest? So that's just like, a doctor can't help you if you don't tell them where the pain is or tell her where the pain is or the discomfort. Same thing when you're talking about a personal trainer, because again, this is physical health. This is attached to you. And the best person to advocate for you is you in regards to your physical health. But I know another thing that we learn, and you see all these weight loss commercials and all these different things, and you go into stores and, you see 25, 26 on pants and things like that. And you're like, what is that? And it's about body measurements, and because I really didn't know about that except in men's clothing. Men's clothing always came in body measurements. Women's clothing did not, so I used to love Levi's for that reason. But they didn't really fit right in the legs because, men are shaped different. But I wanted to speak about to you about body measurements and why are body measurements important for a fitness program?
They are important to some fitness programs because it is a number. And some people are just number people and they need to see it. So, and that's okay. Me personally, I don't like to focus on the measurements. I like to focus on how the person looks and how the person feels. I think I try to be more in tune with that versus the measurements. And then plus the scale will tell you where you are. But I do tell my clients, because I like to focus on strength training and high intensity training, which will help you to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. But you have to be careful with that because you might start at 154, but being that you're gaining muscle mass now, it'll go up. See, that's the way that fat and muscle work. So it's a little tricky.
Yeah, but you're making me want to ask a question. If anybody is viewing and has a question, you can put it in the comments and I'll pop it up on the screen and we can ask our featured entrepreneur, owner of Sweet Fitness, Chantell Brown, and you'll know more about what she just spoke about, because not everybody understands why the scale goes up when you gain muscle. Why is that?
It's heavier. It's solid. Sometimes with fat, it's smooth, it's loose, but with muscle, it's solid. So it's heavier. So that's the difference.
Absolutely.
And just like I said, you have to be careful and you have to actually kind of know the science behind it.
Absolutely. So Tanya is always a supporter and always watching every Monday on Chat to Chantla. Thank you so much for joining. And she says, hello, ladies. And Tanya does work out. She's always out there achieving new goals. So I see her results and I see the things that she's doing. So I know this is probably a great conversation for her. So thank you so much for joining, Tanya. You're going to be getting some great inspiration and direction from our featured entrepreneur tonight. If you have a question, make sure you put it in the comments and I can ask on your behalf to get more engaged with our featured entrepreneur. You all are welcome, our viewers, to ask any questions and even just shouting out and supporting her as well. So I would love to continue this conversation, but I also want to ask, can you describe how you motivate clients to achieve goals?
By being honest. I know I said that before, but I like to be honest. If I know what your goals are, I'm going to push you to get to those goals.
Mhm.
And that takes honesty. And sometimes it takes a little bit of tough love, but you have to be able to know how to communicate with your client. And every client is different.
Yes.
Everyone is different. Do I necessarily change the style and how I train? Not really, but I'm able to adjust how I talk to someone or how I coach someone.
Absolutely. I love that because what you just heard was to the question is help you achieve your fitness goals, but how she helps you achieve the fitness goals is her response is by honesty. Because I say it all the time, and I actually shared with Chantell when we were prepping is like you go and you take a picture to the hairstylist and you're like, I want my hair cut like this, or I want this, and they're like, nah, that can't happen. And you think they're just being rude, but what they're saying is one, that style may not look best on you, you may not have the hair for it. There's all these different things, but they're experts in their field. So honesty is something that you should be seeking as a client of fitness because it's definitely needed. I just want to go off because Tanya has a question for you, and I think it's an appropriate question. I know you'll have a response to her question, and thank you so much, Tanya, for it. She said, "What is the best thing to do or eat to flatten your belly?" Every woman wants to know this question. Like you're on the hot seat right now. Every woman wants to know this.
Less sugars, less sugar, less carbs, processed foods. Yeah, let's just stay away from them altogether if you can, or just minimize it. Changing slight ways how you prepare foods, those small adjustments, they help. But to answer her question, to flatten your belly, yes, let's stay away from so much sugars and processed foods.
Oh, that's great. Sugars are
Mm-hmm.
my downfall. I'm getting better because, and the reason why I'm getting better is instead of eating like the sugars and candies and cakes and things like that, I'll eat it in fruit, like watermelon or an apple or something like that. So it kind of,
That's a natural, yeah,
yeah,
natural sugars. That's
yeah, and it's your body processes that differently than
yeah,
how it would, a tasty cake or a Reese cup, you know.
absolutely.
And so, but it also craves that the taste that you have, like that what you want, and just making some more wholesome recipes
Yes,
also has a really great way of doing, the
it
sweet
does.
tooth, things like that. But when I do want something, like you said, it's in moderation and it's
Yes.
not as much as I did previously. Instead of eating a whole row of
Mm-hmm.
Thin Mints, I may have like three, but it's the small habits that make the big changes. I'm not saying that I'm doing that
Right.
just
And I know
like what you
like
say.
when we talk, it takes 21 days to change a habit,
Yeah,
or to break a habit. If you're taking those small changes and over those 21 days, next thing you know, it's a habit. So now
absolutely.
I'm consciously saying, okay, now I'm not going to eat those sweets. I'm not going to eat those cookies. I'm not going to eat these candy bars or those Reese cups, like you just said.
Yes.
So
Oh God.
your body won't crave it after a while because
Yeah.
honestly, sugar is like a drug. It really is.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I absolutely know that, and I can, and it makes you feel good, but then you like come down from it and you crash. So there's
Yeah.
all these different things that happen. So Tanya also said mine too, and thank you so much. So
Right. No problem.
yeah, if you have a question for our featured entrepreneur, make sure that you put it in the comments and I'll ask on your behalf. But if you're just now joining in, this is a very special episode of Chats with Chantla. This is the 1 year anniversary of the platform. So we have been here building, connecting, collaborating for over a year today, with over 40 entrepreneurs and over 70,000 views. So this is a great platform to be able to get exposure and grow your small business while getting more support by those who are watching and viewing, and then ultimately follow you and become your new client or customer. So we
Yeah.
have an amazing entrepreneur tonight who wants you to believe in yourself while inspiring others, and it's Chantell Brown, and she's the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC. And she is talking so much about personal training, exercise, and she is just an educator of physical health. And so you definitely want to hit the replay button so you can see it from here from her from the very beginning. But stay with us to continue this great conversation and get some great feedback from her insight and her expertise as a personal trainer. So another question that I have is a lot of people, want to think about, we think about as entrepreneurs, customer service. And, and personal training, people may be like, well, what type of customer service is that? And how is it important? It's very important, but how do you provide and maintain good customer service?
I have a background in customer service, so it's not super hard for me. It's just knowing how to talk to people and honestly, meeting people where they are. Some people, they come to you a little aggressive, and you just have to know how to bring them back in, dial it back in. And some people, they come off a little, scared or timid. Sometimes you just need to bring them out a little bit. They make them feel comfortable. So with customer service, it's quite simple for me because I'm just able to relate and understand where people are coming from.
Absolutely. And I love that. And so what she just said, she has a background in customer service. So you're thinking like, okay, I worked at Foot Locker, or I did something else like that, or at a fast food restaurant. You're not thinking that all of that customer service is going to be beneficial to you when you transition into another business or even a business of your own. Yes, she just said it. Having a background in customer service is a part of your character. It becomes a part of your brand as a person in business and entrepreneurship. So you don't lose it. You want to be very aware of how to serve customers in a good way so you could maintain those relationships. But if you're just now joining in, this is a great time to hear more from our featured entrepreneur, Chantell Brown, owner of Sweet Fitness LLC, but it's also our 1-year anniversary on the platform here. But I want to give you a little bit more glimpse of our entrepreneur. So I have a short video that I want to share with you. But if you want to know more about her, go on Instagram under the same name, Sweet Fitness LLC, and you can see some great videos, some great tips. I mean, I saw one today and she was lifting 40-pound dumbbells like it was nothing. And I was like, bless her heart. I can't wait to get there. But the small video I'm going to show, absolutely. See how inspiring and encouraging she is? I need that motivation every minute of the day. But I just want to highlight her through this small video, and I hope it inspires you to continue viewing this great collaboration here on Chats with Chantla. So that was a small video of our featured entrepreneur, Chantell Brown, and she is the owner of Sweet Fitness, as you can see, but she is doing some great things. And that music, as it was playing, it made me feel like this was a warrior music. And so it made me feel like strong when I was listening to it. And then just seeing the images of her just being healthy, looking strong, and also I just want to highlight that sometimes it's very strange when we see people that are healthy, especially for us. And I'll just keep it again from on the eye. Me as a Black woman, it wasn't people, Black and brown women that I saw in fitness magazines and, that were in videos and things like that I worked out to, or, workouts. It just wasn't what I saw. So I used to think like that my body can't change into that because they didn't represent me. So now we have a representation of a beautiful Black woman who is strong, who is healthy, who is an educator of physical health, who is a personal trainer, who's motivating, inspiring, and encouraging us all tonight in this conversation. But not just that, she lives by what she says and she does it. So her first example of change is herself. And you can see that in her Instagram posts, her Facebook posts, and you're hearing about it tonight. So Chantell, you are such a great inspiration. I wish I would have knew you years ago, but I'm glad that I know you now, because it definitely helps to be able to see yourself in the things that you want to be. You know, sometimes it's so easy to disconnect ourselves because we're like, that doesn't look like me. That can't be me, because now it's changing, but we didn't have a lot of representation of Black and brown women in fitness that really were going to motivate us to do it. And then when we did see a strong woman, sometimes we didn't know how to speak about her. And so sometimes we spoke about her appearance in a negative way because
Yeah.
we weren't used to seeing a strong woman. And
Right.
so strength now is very popular, and it's not about
Yes.
being trendy. It's popular. And when things are popular, you hear more about it. And so it brings a greater awareness of the importance of physical health. So I love that you're here. I love that you said yes to this collaboration. And also, Tanya, again, she is a fitness buff, and she said, yes, you look great. I agree, Tanya, 1,000%, 1,000%. Because like I said, you're learning more about Chantell today, right now, during this collaboration. But believe me, you can definitely learn more about her if you just go right on to her social media platforms and learn more about it. And so it's right under her name. And you can, well, Chantell, you know what? Instead of waiting till the end of the show and say, okay, let's support her and learn more about who she is and give the social media handles, can you share those with us right now? Because I think sometimes people have to see it to believe it. And I think people are good at multitasking. So if you have the ability to multitask, you can see or you can grab somebody else's phone if you're on yours, or if you're on your computer and you have your phone, you can see some things. And I'm not making it up. She is a living example of the words that she's saying to us tonight. So drop your social media handles so people can just go and see you right now and learn more about who you are as you speak and share.
Okay. On Facebook, it is at Sweet Fitness, simple enough. And then on Instagram, it is at sweet.fitness, CSG. It's a little bit longer.
Okay.
With Instagram, you have to give a little bit more if a name is already taken. So, on Instagram, it's at sweet.fitness, CSG.
Okay. And when I say you're going to be inspired, I'm like, oh God, did she just do squats like that? Like sumo squats with a 40-pound dumbbell? Okay. I thought 15 was enough.
It takes time. It takes time. That's the thing about fitness. It's the ugly, but it's still the beautiful part of fitness. Seeing your growth and
Absolutely.
actually taking pictures. And now that, social media is so big and everything is so accessible, taking your phone and just taking a picture of yourself at the beginning of a month to the end of the month and seeing your change is inspiring. And that should inspire you. And sometimes it inspires other people too. So
absolutely.
by saying, yes, I did have a 40-pound weight, but at the same time, it is not something that you can't reach,
I love that. Thank you for the reminder. And I do things in small portions, because if I do anything bigger than that, I get discouraged and I quit. So I love when you said, take a picture of yourself, at the beginning of the month, and then look at yourself again with another picture at the end of the month. And I think that is a great way of doing that. You could become a little bit daring and do it bi-weekly. Do it in the middle of the month and then come back and do it at the end of the month. But I think anything that's going to keep you on track and keep you motivated to keep going is going to be beneficial to your physical health journey. But let's get back to hearing more from our expert, Chantell Brown, who is a personal trainer and physical health educator, and learning more about her journey into entrepreneurship and her passion for fitness. Chantell, what are techniques that you use to increase your clientele?
I promote as much as I can. I use my social media all the time. Posting videos, posting pictures, posting dietary tips if I can, But then also, I use my platform as an opportunity for people to come out and get the work part of it. Meaning, I have a boot camp that I do every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. here in the Goose Creek area of South Carolina, and it's free. Anybody can come, male, female, children, it doesn't matter. It is open for everyone. So that is how I give back to my community. That is how I give back to just the world, period, if I can. I'm using my gift and I'm using it for good and using it for better.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love that you said free, like free. There's no reason if you're in the area to be able to connect with her that you
Mhm.
don't connect with her. I think that's amazing. I think that's a great way to give back. It is so charitable, but it
Thank
also
you.
just shows who your type of person in your heart is about service. And this really is a passion and a purpose for you because a lot of people
Mhm.
go into entrepreneurship thinking they're going to get rich overnight and they do it for all the monetary reasons, and that is a recipe, in my
Mhm.
opinion, for failure because you're doing it for the wrong reason. So
Yeah.
when you don't get it, you'll quit.
Mhm.
So if you do it
Mhm.
for the reasons that you do it, it's going to have long-term
Right.
goals attached to it, longevity, and that's going to
Mhm.
contribute to your success. So thank you so much. And again,
Absolutely.
kind of like just want to ask you, why do you do it for free? Like, what motivates you to say, I want to give this? You know, when you could put
Before the
a small price tag on it.
Yeah, before the pandemic hit, I was doing the boot camp and it was I think I was charging $10 per person. Yeah, $10 per person. And then when the pandemic hit, we had to shut down everything. So when the door started opening up a little bit, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing my boot camp again, but this time I'm going to do it free so that, people don't feel hindered because they had to pay for it. And then plus,
Mhm.
it was just something I know God just placed it in my heart and just said, just do it. Just go out and do it and see who shows up. Even if no one shows up, still go. Sometimes I'm out there with one person, that's okay. Sometimes it's 20 people, that's good too. But if I'm there by myself, I just use that time to just get extra footage, extra pictures, extra videos, and honestly work out myself. Because if I need that extra workout, then I'll get that extra workout. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I honestly, I started back with the boot camp. Um, it's been a year now that has been free.
Wow.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being such an impact to so many people. And your time is something
Mhm.
that no amount of money can give back to you. But I think it's
Absolutely.
beautiful that you are doing that and you're investing in
Mhm.
people in such a great way that
I
can
was just about to
contribute
say
to
that.
the quality of their life.
Mhm.
And so, physical fitness does help the
Mhm.
quality of your life. If you're having knee problems and you take physical fitness a little bit
Oh,
more
yeah.
serious, it can really change, back problems, just different things. But
Mhm.
more importantly, it just makes you feel really good about yourself. Not only good
Yeah.
about yourself and like your appearance, but good about yourself because you're making healthy choices in what you're putting in
Right.
your body and you're taking control of your health that ultimately impacts your life. And then you're an influence to other people around you as well.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
also think about like in the small video that I shared, you
Mhm.
had some fruit and you had different things. So when I think about nutrition, I know it's important to me, but
Mhm.
how important is nutrition to you as not just a fitness trainer, but just your overall physical health? Like, how important is that to you?
Changing my diet has helped me tremendously because I'm a sweet eater. I love me some
I
sweets.
can't tell.
Um, I love sweets, but changing my diet, it actually helped me feel more energized. It
Mm,
helped, just eternally for sure. It helps with my skin. It helps with just my overall health. And I try to get people to understand that if you can work out every single day, but if your diet is not
mm,
good, it's kind of pointless. You're fighting against it, really.
wow.
You're fighting
Yeah.
against your growth. So taking heed and really focusing on your diet will help you tremendously.
Love that. And nutrition
Mhm.
is very important because I've heard that
Mhm.
before. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard the 80-20 rule. It's more about 80% of what you put in your mouth and 20% of what you do. So, like,
People say
what you're consuming.
80-20 or 70-30, one or the other.
Okay, good,
Mhm.
good. But so it's not too far off. And Tanya, as well. So I just want to get back to this awesome conversation. And the conversation for the next question is to continue this conversation is how do you make it appealing to your clients to come to you instead of going to a gym?
Um, I'm relatable, one, and then I have an in-home gym. Because sometimes the gym can be intimidating for some people if they go in, if they're new, they go
Yeah,
in, they see so many machines and they see so many people, and they don't know where to start. Most people don't have that direction. So with me, I haven't, like I said, I have an in-home gym, so it's a little bit more appealing. One, and then it's more intimate because it's
mm,
just you, it's just me and my client for the most part, unless it's like a small group or anything like that. But typically, it's just me and my client, and having that allotted time for a client, it helps. So I'm able
absolutely.
to, yeah, I'm able to give them the tools that they need. So when they do go to the gym, they know what to do. They have a little bit more direction. They have a better idea of what they can do at that very moment.
Absolutely. And I love
Mhm.
that. The reason why I love that what you said that makes you more appealing for people to come to you versus gym is exactly what you said. Like not knowing how to use equipment and
Mhm.
you use it incorrectly can really harm you. It could
For sure.
damage you. It could cause an injury. But also, it's like you said, it's intimidating where you just don't even want to go
Yeah.
because I can identify the treadmill and the elliptical
Yeah.
machine, sorry, and then the
Mhm.
bike. But other than that, I couldn't tell you anything about all the other machines that I see and also like what like muscle they're working. But if I was educated, I may
Right.
be then able to utilize that paid membership that I'm paying for and not really benefiting from because I'm coming to you. But you could
Mhm.
also just skip the paid membership if you're in the South Carolina area and go straight to Chantell and give her that monetary, fee and be able to really get that one-on-one attention and
Right.
change your body a lot healthier, I should say,
Yeah.
because here's what I say is like, there are a lot of times that I can again keep it on the eye. I can't speak for anybody else.
Mhm.
But when I see someone like running on the treadmill,
Mhm.
sometimes it pulls my self-esteem down only because I'm like, I used to be able to do that.
I
Like
get
I
that.
did that. I used to run 5.5 miles a day, 6 times
Mhm.
a week. And now you're not doing that. And then sometimes it's just like at least for me, and like I said, I'll keep it
Mhm.
on the eye. It'll get into me mentally, and it kind of like messes my workout because I'm focused on the person next to me and is
Right.
like growth and not my own. And I'm like, oh, Chantla, and then you want to leave because I'm like, I can't even
Mhm.
run for 3 minutes right now, but I probably could. But like, let me just concentrate on walking. But I'm just saying, like, when you talk about
Mhm.
why it's appealing, and I can see why you would be
Yeah.
more appealing to some people like myself who have those thoughts. And you're like,
Mhm.
okay, and then you build up to go, because
Yes.
their intimidation is different than just someone saying something to you. It's maybe the looks that you get when you first walk in,
Mhm.
or the looks that you don't get, or looks of encouragement, or someone say, you're doing a good job. And to
Mhm.
have someone tell me, like, okay, Chantla, you can do one more rep. And I'm like, no, but then you're cheering me on.
Yes.
That's a lot different than me listening to a DVD and say, okay, one more. And you're like, I ain't doing that, but I'll watch you. That's
Right.
different. So I think
But you have
what's
to
a,
be careful in those moments. You have to
yeah,
be careful in those moments where you just have to check yourself. And that's another thing that happens with fitness. You have to check yourself because you can lift. Sometimes you go in and then you lift a 30-pound dumbbell, and it's like, wait a minute, I know that I can do more, but I don't want to. But wait a minute, let's check yourself because you know that you can do more. So why
mhm,
limit yourself? You're only hurting yourself when you do that. So you have to be, like I said, it goes back to honesty. You have to be honest with yourself.
mhm. I love that.
Mhm.
Honesty is such a huge part of your physical health.
Yeah.
Just being honest with yourself. Like, do you need that extra cookie? Do you not, you're not really tired and you can do that extra half mile or whatever it is and get those extra steps in. But honesty is probably the key recipe and success of anything to yourself,
Absolutely.
especially your physical health. But thank you so much for that great insight. And if you're just now joining in to this episode of Chats with Chantla, thank you and welcome to the platform where we highlight small business owners doing big impact, primarily thinking about Black and Brown entrepreneurs, but they are building, connecting, collaborating on this platform. And today is my 1-year anniversary of Chats with Chantla, where I've been able to collaborate with over 40 entrepreneurs, and the platform has had over 70,000 views in the last 12 months. So this is a great platform for small business owners like Chantell Brown here, who is our featured entrepreneur, and she's the owner of Sweet Fitness. Her journey of entrepreneurship is right in the name. She is a fitness trainer and physical health educator, and she's been giving us some great insight on how to conquer some of our fears, discomforts, to believe in ourselves and inspire others through our physical health journey. So if you're just joining in, and you're going to hear some great insight that she's going to provide, and some more of the conversation we're having, but you definitely want to hit the replay button and listen from the beginning, and also share and to connect with our featured entrepreneur as well. So also, Chantell, tell me a little bit about how you deal with the difficult and challenging clients or customers, because you did say you had great customer service, but you're always going to come across those difficult and challenging clients. How do you deal with them?
I don't.
That's different.
Simply put, I don't. Like I said before, going back to that initial consultation, you know, you have to use discernment. You kind of know when someone is going to be difficult or not going to be fully committed to the process. And that spills over into your sessions. Yes. Am I still going to push you? Absolutely. Am I still going to encourage you? Yes. But sometimes it gets to that point where it can be a little disrespectful. So in those moments, you just nip it in the bud. You just cancel it all out together. And then you can have a conversation afterwards and just share your thoughts or share your feelings. But if they're not, if they can't receive that, then our relationship, it won't go very far.
Yeah.
So again, I just don't deal with difficult clients because it shifts my energy, and
Right.
I can't have that.
Absolutely. And I love that, because we each all have our own set of boundaries and our level of tolerance that we can deal with people. And difficult and challenging people they're not for everybody. Even though we interact with them and we know that's a part of life, doesn't mean that we have to accept it and deal with it, especially in our personal or professional lives. So as a business owner, we know that it's going to happen, but how you deal with it and how you tolerated it is a personal choice. And hers is, I don't. And she just expressed to us why. And I think it is a great way of keeping your peace and not falling into pieces, because, I think we think as business owners, like, and entrepreneurs, we have to deal with it. That's a part of the business. And because then you think like, oh, I'm going to lose clients and I'm not going to have any. But if they're difficult to you, they're probably difficult to other people in their lives. So, people could possibly relate to, like, okay, I understand why she wants to preserve herself and her health, and because you have a client after that difficult or challenging client, or you still have to go home. You're a mom, you're a wife, so you still have to, deal with things after dealing with that challenging or difficult client. So it's just not for that moment, unless you know how to cut that off and be able to do that. But I think, like, your honesty is how a lot of people feel in business, but are afraid to take that step forward and say, no, that's not for me.
Absolutely. I just can't do it, especially because I'm training my clients in my in-home gym. I mean, yes, we go outside. Do I travel to clients? Absolutely. But when you're coming to my home, you're coming into my space, I have to protect that. And dealing with difficult clients or difficult people, I can't have that,
And I respect it. It. I totally respect it. So we have someone I think that you may know. James Brown said that this is an informative and great episode, all these smiley faces, and he congratulated me on my 1-year anniversary. Thank you so much, James, for joining. Is that, you can tell us who that is?
That's my husband.
Yes, that supporter, that support system, that hooray, that encourager, that motivator, and that support. I think that's amazing. Thank you so much, just not for being a man of your word, but also in action. So he's here watching, he's commenting, and he's supporting. So, and he already shared. You better go doing it. He's doing it. He is doing
Yeah,
it. So,
he does very well. Trust me, I am blessed. Believe me.
yes.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. So thank you, James. As we said, we all need a James in our life. We
yes,
all need a James in our life to be able
absolutely.
to continue the journey of entrepreneurship that can be so
Mhm,
difficult. But
mhm,
back to you and back to your passion for fitness and
mhm.
your purpose for fitness and why you do so many things. Everyone has a strength. What is your greatest strength as a personal trainer?
Being relatable. Definitely. Like you stated, I am a wife, I'm a mom, I work full time, and I'm a business owner. And a lot of people can relate to that. And if they can't relate to it, they respect it.
Hmm.
I try to hold myself to, a higher standard. But I'm able to still humble myself. And people like that. People actually gravitate to me more because of it, and I appreciate it, no doubt about it, because I've been able to touch bases with a lot of great people like you. So it works for me. Being relatable, it works for me.
Absolutely. And I think like relatable is another key in
Mhm.
successful business is because if people can't see themselves or feel like they can relate to you, then they're not going to come to you. They're not going to want to do business with you. They're not going to want to support you. They're not going to want to do a lot of things. And we always want to be relatable because I'm thinking to myself, like, if I don't see myself in you or if can't relate to you probably in our first interaction, I most likely won't come back unless you have this amazing service to a problem I have or solution to a problem I have, then I'll come back.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that, I really want to be there. That's why so many people like don't like Walmart, but they go there because they know they can
Right,
get so many things.
right.
They may not really like it, but they
Mhm.
go there because there's a solution to the problem that's housed there. But I want to go places and support people that I can relate to and that can be have a relationship with, and so
Mhm.
being relatable is a strong characteristic of relationship building. But you did give us a little bit of your background as a dancer and also as an athlete. How else has your background helped influence your present day career or business venture into fitness?
Um, just literally being present, um, being an athlete and being a dancer is just those little details that you have to pay attention to, that you have to take heed to. So now, being an entrepreneur and being a fitness trainer, I have to pay attention to those. So that actually helps me. Those little things, sometimes people say certain things and you have to take heed to it. They may think that it's small, but it is big and it speaks volumes to how they train and how you're able to train them as a
Mhm.
person.
Thank
So
you.
those help.
And so, if you're just now joining and you have a question for our featured entrepreneur in regards to her journey into entrepreneurship or a more specific question into fitness, make sure you put it in the comments and I'll bring it up on the screen and have our featured entrepreneur, Chantell Brown, owner of Sweet Fitness LLC, answer. But if not, then we're going to continue this great and insightful and informative, as your husband said, conversation. Um, I want to know a lot, because in the last year, there's one thing that we all can relate to, and that is the pandemic.
Yeah.
And the pandemic has changed the way that we operate and engage each other in the world and in this country and
Mhm.
neighborhood schools, everything. But how has the pandemic changed the way you market your business?
Um, Honestly, I don't think that it has. I'm still doing mostly the same thing that I was doing before, but I've always gone hard with doing the promotions and the videos and the pictures and all of that. Um, has the pandemic opened my clientele? For sure, no doubt about it. So I'm able to reach and touch more people and inform more people of what I have going on, whether it's my boot camp or my fitness class or doing personal training one-on-ones. So I haven't changed a whole lot. but I'm just as active as I was before.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You kind of great segue into the next question. Do you feel that the pandemic has motivated people to be more conscious about their health?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, no doubt. When we were in shutdown, everyone was basically at home. And when you're doing what you're doing when you're bored, you're eating
Right.
constantly. Even if you're not hungry, you're eating, or you're not getting as much movement as you were before. Getting up and going to work, that does incorporate movement. You're getting out the house, you're getting in your car, you're going to work. But being at home, you're just sitting there for the most part. So this pandemic, and it helped people see, like, wait a minute, I do need to make a change because I've gained all of this weight, or I just don't feel healthy, or I feel heavy. That changed a whole lot of people's minds, and I appreciated it because now I can touch more people. Now I can inform more people. Now a lot more people have the knowledge that they need to live a healthier life.
Absolutely. I definitely also, also to be honest, as we have been on this platform, seeing so much loss in
Yes.
regard to health, has made us more conscious and more aware of our health. So thank you so much for your honesty and just being very transparent in this conversation. But Tanya does have a question for you, and I think this is a great question because you have so many different answers pertaining to this. And her question is lots of water still good?
I think so. Drinking water, you're always flushing your system. And then if you're working out as much, if your workout has intensified, you definitely need to fill your body with water. So it's nothing wrong with water. You just have to be careful and know how to distinguish whether you're getting rid of water weight or sustaining as much water as you need. And most of the time, your body will tell you if you need more water because you'll feel dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll know. Listen to your body, and it'll tell you for sure.
Absolutely. I think that is a great question as well. Also, too, when I think about water, you just hear so many different things about it. But when I think about the importance of water to your body, the human body is made up of 70% of water, and it tells you how important it is to have it. It helps the systems flow and everything, go through the different channels that it needs to in regards to your organs to be able to be flushed out. So I think that is very important. And Tanya says, thank you so much. And I thank you for that question because it is necessary. And I think also too, when I think about water, it's such a myth when people are like, oh, I need more water in the summer and not as much in the winter. And I'm like, what? Your body is still doing the same activity. You know what I mean? The summer just may make it seem like because the sun's out, you feel the heat, but you're still gonna need that. You're in the winter if you're doing the same workout, or by that time you've grown in your journey of your physical health and you've gotten stronger. You may be doing more activity that's gonna cause you to need a little bit more fluid to be able to sustain those workouts in a way. And also water helps your body recover, when you're working out. This, it helps those sore muscles that you get. So I'm not a fitness expert, but what I do know is I learned from trial and error and I learned from the wrong way. I'm like, why am I hurting? And then you Google, first thing you do is you Google like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong. And it's only because the lack of water that you have in your body. And so, it helps with a lot of different things. So you're just now joining in. We are getting some expert advice on the platform tonight from our featured entrepreneur, Chantell Brown, and she's the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC. And she has given us so many great tips on physical health, nutrition, meeting and achieving goals, believing in ourselves, inspiring each other, and inspiring yourself to be greater. That if you're just now joining in, you're joining in the latter portion of this conversation. So you definitely want to hit the replay button to learn more about her as an entrepreneur and also as an encourager for your achieving physical health in the best condition and living out the best version of yourself. So Chantell, there are some new entrepreneurs that are watching the platform. There's also some seasoned entrepreneurs that we are always in need of some advice. So if you could give, one piece of advice to a viewer of Chats with Chantla who is an entrepreneur, thinking about being an entrepreneur or about to quit entrepreneurship, what would you say?
Continue to live in your gift. You were given your gift for a reason, whether you don't quite know it, but most of the time your seasoned entrepreneurs, they understand their gift, they know what their gift is and what they should do with their gift. Sometimes it's just about burnout. But as far as your new entrepreneurs, live in your gift, realize what it is, and take that step to continue to grow. And at the end of the day, it boils down to discipline.
Mm.
Discipline will change your life. It really will. It will make you uncomfortable for sure. Absolutely. But if you stay on it, find things that inspire you, find people that inspire you that are going to pour into you, pour into your gift, and pour into you to remain disciplined, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. To my seasoned entrepreneurs, find it, stay in it, don't give up. Because at the end of the day, yes, you may have all this great success, but there's always room for more. There's always room for more success, and there's more room to inspire others too. So just stay in it. You'll be fine.
Wonderful. That is some great advice for all levels of entrepreneurs that may be watching or hit replay and share it with somebody else and just get those amazing words of encouragement to keep moving forward. But again, you shared, some your social media handles, but a lot of people who are watching tonight may be like, okay, I want to connect to her and I want to be able to support her and I need your social media handles. So as she's saying them, I'm going to type them up so I can put them on the screen so that you can see them so that you don't only hear them, but you'll also see them as you were watching and also as you go back and you replay and share with others, share to make sure that other people connect to our amazing entrepreneur featured tonight, who is Chantell Brown, and she's the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what are their social media handles?
Okay, on Facebook, it is at Sweet Fitness. And then on Instagram, it's at sweet.fitness CSG.
CSG?
My initials.
Okay. And so it's at sweet.fitness. Is it dot C as in Charles, S as in Sam?
Well, it's sweet.fitness CSG.
Okay.
C as in Chantell, S as in Sam, G as in Graham.
Okay. So, yes. So Sweet Fitness on Facebook, here it is, live and right up on the screen. And on Instagram, you can find her at sweet.fitnesscsg. So you can definitely go right now, hit the follow button, hit the like button, see the videos, be inspired. But not only be inspired by her words, also be inspired by her actions. And a lot of times we say, oh, that entrepreneur is not close to me. It's not a local entrepreneur. You can always connect with her and get some help from a distance. Another thing the pandemic has been able to show us is that we can function through Zoom, through telephone, through meetings. Like the virtual world has become so important to us. And we, are able to connect with people different ways. So you may be able to download a video. You may be able to get nutrition plan. There's so many ways. What you don't have is because you did not ask. And we have an expert tonight here to be able to improve your physical health and the way not only you feel about yourself on the outside, but more importantly, how you feel about yourself on the inside, knowing that you're doing the best with the one body that you get to be the very best life that you have and live that out. So we all need help. And Chantell Brown, our featured entrepreneur, who is the owner of Sweet Fitness LLC, is doing that for us. So connect with her on Facebook at Sweet Fitness. Let me put it up here again. And then on Instagram at sweet.fitnesscsg. But Chantell, we've come to the end of our collaboration, but what I want to do is give you an opportunity to share any final thoughts with our viewers of Chats with Chantla tonight. Again, this has been a very special episode for me. It's my 1 year anniversary, and it's such a pleasure to be able to share the platform tonight with such a beautiful person inside and out, a strong representative of, physical health for women that look just like me. And it was such an honor, but I'm going to allow you to take over the screen. I'm just backstage, just give some final thoughts. And the reason why I do this is I don't want people to focus on me. I want them to focus on you and the final words that you have to share on the platform, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, just take this time to invest in your health and invest in yourself. It's nothing wrong with taking that time to better yourself and to get in tune with yourself in the fitness world or the fitness aspect. Don't be too hard on yourself. You'll get there with consistency and dedication. Take that time to learn more about yourself. Take that time to invest in yourself and become a better person. It takes time, yes, but you'll be fine. And also, just do the work. So let's go, people. Do the work.
I love that. Let's go, people. Do the work. Any of us have the ability to do the work if we want to. We may not have the same limitations. We may not have the same mobility. We may not have the same aspirations. But putting in the work at any place that you are right now in your life, as Chantell said, is a great start. And putting in the work is how you get the results that you want in regards to your physical health. Thank you so much, Chantell, for just sharing this very special moment with me on Chats with Chantla. Also inspiring me through this amazing conversation. You have so much insight. I just think that you are such an inspiration for so many people. Me first, I'll say that. I'm looking at your shoulders and I'm like, her arms, not only is her background amazing, she's aligned in the back. She is roaring, from the inside out. And this conversation, this collaboration has been one that I'm very appreciative of, and just very excited. I normally don't like to watch the replays, but I'm gonna go back and watch it. The reason for it, it's not so much it's not about the entrepreneurs, it's about me. I'm like, what were you looking at? What were you doing, at the time? But you critique yourself so much. But I think that, I watch them all, but I just, go back and share this one and really look and reflect and think so much. Because my physical health means a lot to me, and I want to inspire those ones that I love and who are close to me. So I'll be hitting the share button. So one of the ways that you can get exposure for our featured entrepreneur and also for the platform is just by sharing. Sharing is free. It's a very kind thing to do, but it's also a very helpful way of getting people exposure and connecting people to the support and solutions and services that they need. And everyone needs a Chantell in their life when it comes to their personal health. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on Chats with Chantla. It has been amazing. You have been awesome and such a great inspiration to believe in yourself and to inspire others. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week for another episode of Chats with Chantla. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.